We've got a ready from Swang. We've got a ready from Bidwell. 3, 2, 1, and it's go time here for our first game. Our 4 seed versus our 13 seed. What can you tell us about this matchup, Larva?
So uh, really, what we see a lot from Bidwell is speed running, but we see everything from Swang. As you said earlier, he is our first regional champion. He took home the regional championship in Phoenix. That was very fun to watch. Um, he does play a very combo heavy style, but he does switch up what he does based on what type of Dr. Mario he's playing.
Yeah, and there are some skills that do lend themselves well to versus play that do transfer over to speed play, but there's some that not, like deliberately creating garbage combos, really only to clear the board here. While that's more of an attack or defensive strategy in the versus game, we see Swung already down to 7 here, and we're not even at the minute mark, and he is looking to just trounce this board here as he is down to 2 viruses, now 1. Meanwhile, Bidwell at 13, and Bidwell's hung up.
Yeah, he's manufacturing that sweet tea. It's oh so sweet. But he's got a lot of yellow and not getting a lot of yellow from the doctor.
He's starting to get some double blues here, but what he really needs is some yellow help. He's got it there, and also probably want to take care of column 3. That's the where he's going, and now really just having to split his efforts between 2 boards here. He could have gone horizontal. That blue chose not to, and is now going to go horizontal with it. And now down to 2 viruses here. Excuse me. Meanwhile, Swung at a minute 45, only a dozen
He's
viruses now. Now 10 viruses playing at an
flying. He
absolutely
is
torrid
flying.
pace. And he's got that double horizontally, and he's just absolutely lined up here. Yellows aren't going to do him much of any favors here. 3 blue viruses to go. The sequence here is going to be 7, then 1, then 7, it looks like, unless he's building up that tower of power here. So he's just going to take care of the topmost virus thanks to RNG. You see that landfill right in the middle of his board. He
Mhm.
is going to clear out at 224, 22 viruses ahead of Chris Bidwell here.
Like you said, he did build that tower. I watch Swang play a lot, and he does not like drop time at all for almost any reason. He avoids it as much as possible. So that move from him does not surprise me. It's a very Swang move.
And
And then
swung
you
there
get
with
the
a fat
fat
log
log.
into a fat log into a combo there. 24 viruses to go on 8 here. Bidwell is trying to knock it lapped, but Larva, as you see, just absolute red surrounding anything Bidwell needs to do to get this board cleared.
Yeah, you finally got that blue open, and then immediately it's gone. So yeah, it's Bidwell just needs the doctor to please give him some red.
So yeah, give him all of your red pill energy as far as the game goes in chat. 7 viruses to go here, and now 5 viruses to go. Meanwhile, Swang with a huge combo turns a horizontal into a triple vertical. That was a beefy looking combo. He's already down to 3 viruses, now down to 2.
Yeah, and now he's got that trash cleared. He is free and clear. Just needs one of
And
each, and he's got the one blue left.
swung out at a 404 here. We could see something historic here from our Northern California man here, as he is at 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Meanwhile, Bidwell just this is where if you were practicing, the reset button would have been pressed
Reset.
ages ago.
Mhm.
And
Exactly.
some words we wouldn't be able to say on stream would be said for sure. Although at a blazing time of 420, Bidwell going on to 8.
Unfortunately, Bidwell right now is currently being lapped, which is Nobody really wants that. That's usually the goal is don't get lapped if you are like me and are fairly slow to begin with. Your goal is really just don't get lapped.
Just be happy to
So,
be here.
yes. Um, so hopefully, um, Bidwell can kind of turn on the jets, and maybe RNG will maybe not smile as favorably on Swang
Just
for,
yeah,
not
maybe
that I
grimace
want
a little
that, but
bit.
just for Bidwell's, well-being.
Meanwhile, swung down to his last 6 viruses here. He is playing at a very, very good pace. A bit of a slow 9 for him, but you're going to see him get a fat log and
That
have
log.
that blue setup. So he's going to have to be forced to play drop time. But look at this. He might get himself a sub 6. And look at that, a 543 for Swang. I believe that's his first sub 6.
Yes, that ties him with Savage at 8th on our hot times of 5:43. And
And
Savage
Ook
at
in
that
our
time this past June.
Yeah, absolute. Ook saying 404 error level 8 time not found. Well, we certainly found a 543. Bidwell 6 minutes through level 8 and just says no thanks. We're done here. So a quick win there for Swung. Meanwhile, Bidwell is readying up, and we are just waiting. Oh, we do have our ready from Swung. So the players already. Swung looking to put this away, wearing that Naruto shirt. So you can believe it there. Meanwhile, Bidwell repping the Tetris community shirt. We've got players going here, and we've got goes. Both players have similar boards here. A little bit of a scattering here. Not a lot in the way of doubles to work with. They're going to have to drop some things down here. Swang is going to get a nice little combo right in the center of the board. It's going to have to deal with that blue garbage, though, in 6 larva.
Yeah, he does not really have any place for blues right now other than as garbage. But Swung is really good about sniffing out when to use strategic garbage and when to place it somewhere else.
Meanwhile, Bidwell here, 13 viruses, almost in an oops all red situation, as he is starting to get everything cleared down, having to drill down. He's down to 9 viruses, holding a slight virus lead over Swang, and he's going to get this horizontal and be down to 7. He still has at least one of every virus remaining. You see him looking maybe to go. He can't play the horizontal, so little bit of a redundancy there in the corner, but he's still holding on to a slight lead. He's going to have to also clear this naturally now, as he's going to get that uh, line of garbage cleared out. 1 virus to go for Bidwell. He is at his 1 red, and he's got it. 126. He's out and has a lead on Swung, who seems to be a bit on the struggle bus here to end 6.
Yeah, I
But
think
look at
some of
that
that was
combo.
setting up that combo to get out. Swung does like his combos. I do think that that might have hampered some of his time though, trying to be a little fancy. I know everybody likes to be fancy, and I do it
It's
too.
it's
Sometimes
it's
it's not the right
really
time.
when you see a really nice combo, you really want to pride yourself on getting it done. But there's also that balance of, is RNG going to favor it? And if it does,
Mhm.
definitely go for it. But sometimes it will just leave you with that one piece, and you're playing 2 dozen more plays on the other side of the board in hopes of getting it where you could have made a lot of progress just overall on the board. So sometimes you have to cut those combos down just so you're able to manage the rest of the board.
Exactly. Um, Bidwell's kept a pretty clean board this entire time. Um, doesn't have he doesn't have as much use for reds as he probably would like. But he does seem to be chopping things down pretty well.
Bidwell's biggest pain point here is going to be that virus in column 2, the yellow virus. He's got a little bit of garbage buried around it, and the problem is he'd love to play blue on it, but blue's been his top line for the most part in this game. rather in this level. So he's going to have to prioritize that last. He's got reds out of the board and he's got blues out of the board. So it's just going to be an opportunity to get these yellows off. And you see he is now free and clear, but swung out first at a 314. Pie for everybody here. But Bidwell not far behind. He's going to be out just 4 seconds back at a 318.
Yes, and I actually like Bidwell's board a little bit better. Say that 10 times fast. Just because it's got a little bit well, maybe not now, but it did have more color diversity to start with. So he had places to put everything instead of what Swang has, which is um
A
a
mess
couple of
of blue
columns
and
with
red.
0 viruses in the middle, and now that he's trying to, pull a horizontal in there, and he just
But a
pulls
good
that off.
combo here. Good combo here that's got him at 21 and still in the lead. And we see Bidwell might be freezing up there. We got him back. All right, great. He's going to do the spear down. He's going to drop the yellow garbage just so he can continue to work on this board. That's a good play there. His big problem here, Larva, is he has no yellow to work with.
Exactly. What we liked at the beginning with the, board diversity has now just completely vanished. It is
And
all reds and blues.
and the big thing for Bidwell is to really break this open. He needs a double red to clear up column 8. He leaving garbage on your extreme sides 1 and 8, always a huge risk because sometimes you're forced into a double situation that you won't ever get one of. And ironically, it's the most frequent double that's not coming up for Bidwell on that double red.
Exactly. He does also have he's fixed that in column 3. He did have that kind of buried, but he was able to combo that out. So now he's just working on his stoplight basically on in column 8, and then that one blue virus in column 7.
He does have everything nicely close here. He could really start clearing out, but swung out at a 526. So both these players on the struggle bus on 8 here. But again, Bidwell keeping it close here out at a 531. So these players very, very tight going into 9, but swung off to a strong start here.
Yes, he's getting the yellow that he's needed. The doctor's kind of smiled on him with that one, and then he's gonna try to pull off another. Oh, the red in there was in the way. But that would have been a really nice kind of double drop combo for
And
that.
I'm
Um,
I'm wondering if there was a misflip because we do see that blue garbage in 6. He could have drilled that down to have coverage on the blue, and that seems to have been the smarter play. It would have taken a little bit more time, but would have still had a pretty sane board, clean board as far as things go. It's a 2 virus lead here for Swang as Bidwell now starting to fight that middle section of his board.
yeah, and there's some blue at the bottom of his board, but once he gets rid of those 2, there's only 2 more left. So Bidwell does not need a lot of blue.
Great
We'll
combo
see
by
what the
Bidwell.
doctor gives him, which will probably be a whole bunch of blue.
Bidwell with 10 to go, swung with 14 to go here. Bidwell going to be out of blue, so it's going to be yellow, one yellow and a bunch of reds here. You see
And
the
he's
Bidwell bounce
bouncing.
starting to happen. He wants this W. He's down to 5. Swung with a huge combo. He's going to be down to 6 with a huge combo. Bidwell's going to need bread, and he's going to need it quick. As now swung down to 5. It is even up here. Now 4 to go for Swung, 4 to go for Bidwell. Now 2 to go for Bidwell. Now 1 for Bidwell, 4 for Swung. Swung's tied up here. It could go either way, but it looks like it's going to be Bidwell very slightly, and he'll get it at a 728, just beating out Swung.
Whoa. That was that was a
I've
great level 9 from Bidwell.
Larva, I've been in that room where Bidwell is streaming, and that is a very low ceiling. As Swung finishes out at a 746, I could not Bidwell bounce in that room because I would have a severe concussion. It is like I am 6'6". That ceiling is 7 feet. It is very low. But you see Bidwell doing the bounce there and tying this up. We go to our second decider of the night.
I'm very excited. More free Dr. Mario for everyone. Okay, we
We
have
have
readies
two
from both of our
readies.
players.
A decider here, a big upset, or will Swang continue his momentum that he gained in August from the Versus regional? We have a go, and off these players go. Similar board structure to a degree. Not a lot of coverage on those bottom two rows for either player. As we see Bidwell off to the races already, getting two one drop or one pill clears just out of the gate.
Yeah. Now Swang, on the other hand, does not have a lot of use for yellow, unfortunately. He's able to clear some up, but there's still not very much yellow at all on his board. And then he's going to get rid of most of it anyway. So let's hope the
Oh, you see,
doctor does not get a lot of that. Yeah.
Bidwell was planning to set up an underclear and realized the garbage was going to block that. You saw the frustration there. So he's got to run through this here. He's down to 14, swung down to 7. So we'll see what Bidwell does, but he's got that yellow in a very, very rough situation, Larva.
Yeah. That's pretty buried. Can't really underclear, can't really come at it from the side, can't get it from the top.
He has managed to carve that out though, and he does have it. He's down to 11, but Swung already down to one virus here. He's going to be out at sub 90-second territory. He will be out at exactly 81 seconds, a minute 21, as Bidwell down to his final dozen here. But you have to wonder that misplay in column one really cost Bidwell this first round.
Yeah, I think it might have. Hopefully it does not affect his play for um
Oh, the
and
garbage
then that
drop.
happens. I'm sorry, Bidwell. I cursed you. I'm
That was
sorry.
That was a good 2 seconds of time where there's nothing you can do. Those are always brutal. Sometimes your mind goes blank just dropping things off. But a minute 54 there for Chris Bidwell as he is out of 7, but Swung already starting to run away here. Very yellow heavy here in his end game.
Yeah. Um and well, right now the doctor does not want to give him anything anywhere close to yellow. So, with that, that does give Bidwell a little bit of a chance to kind of make up some of that time that he lost. Um, so we'll see how he plays that out.
Bidwell looks like he might be sniffing out for a red horizontally. No, he decides to go vertical in columns 2 and 3. So we'll see what he does here. He is going to get that easy one pill double. Going to clear out the garbage. His big problem here, Larva, his blue access. He's going to have to get creative with, as he's got two blues very much buried. A swung out halfway through under 3 minutes.
Yeah, there's a lot that's going to have to happen um, with those blues for Bidwell. And there he goes. There go all of them. So now he has absolutely no use for blue at all.
And it looks like he's going to try to attack the remaining yellow virus horizontally. He's going to need a little bit of help to do that, and he will clear that. But Larva, the big problem now is he's buried that last red virus, despite that drill drop that does eat time. But Bidwell playing unusually sluggish here, as he's one of the better end game players.
Yeah, I think that it was that misdrop. I think potentially really got to him. And I know you want to think in the game, but sometimes you don't want to think all that much, or else it will hang you up. So that
I
might
just
have been what
try
happened.
I just try not to think, and that's worked out pretty well for me. Uh, 20 virus margin here, as it is 4 minutes and 15 seconds here. Swung pulling away looking to go into 9 first and secure this here. And I mean, as you said, Larva, those mental mistakes can really eat you the further you get through, especially when you're in a decider match. You know that one mistake can really just put you out of it.
Exactly. And I it's happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to you. It happens to everybody. It's just something you have to just kind of shrug your shoulders, shake it off, and then move on and see what you can do from there.
I'm sure somebody could probably make a compilation of all my competitive reactions to making a misflip. I get real salty sometimes. 10 viruses to go here to 8. It does look like Bidwell catching up as Swong just trying to get out of here. And oh, Swong, I thought he was buried. Didn't see the vertical out at 514. But definitely now a chance to make this competitive for Bidwell as it is here. Oh no, he makes the misplay in column one. Oh, that's brutal. That
Uh,
might be it right there.
yeah, that hurts your soul as a Dr. Mario player.
Yeah, it's it's one of those things, and and you see here, this happens to players of every level where you just have a complete brain fart as to the orientation of the pill, and you realize as you're placing the exact same one that you've made a mistake, and you just kind of want to not play anymore. As Bidwell into 9 here, sub 6 minutes. Swong having a bit of a struggle here, as not a lot of access to blue though. So Bidwell in with a shout.
Yeah. And right now it does seem like the doctor is liking the color blue for Swang, at least a little bit.
Meanwhile, Bidwell trying to get creative here, trying to get through this level. A lot of doubles for him to play with here, a lot of zero drop clears, but also not a lot of yellow for him to work with. As Bidwell is down to 28, Swung at 11, and Swung is now down to single digits. He's got a clean board, just about free and clear. Just needs to clear out those yellows in column number 8, and he will do so, just needing that last yellow. Just a little bit of extra drop time and out at a 6.56. Great time there for Swong. That's going to lock this up. And I know Bidwell's going to be just beating himself up for a couple of those miscues.
Yeah, I it is something that happens. It's unfortunate. But it happens to every player of every skill, just like you said.
And a nice message there from Swong. Always a great sport. Got to meet him for the first time out at the regional. He's a great dude. So he'll be going on to our second round where